called? Just a point. Okay, mine's empty because I drew on there, but, okay, so this is called a point. That's all we're doing. Andrew, I'll put that up, please. Number 3, what is that one called? Supposed to be really easy.
Array.
Okay, it is, so how many arrows are on there?
2.
2, so is that a ray or a line?
Line.
It's a line, that one's called a line. Okay, number 5, is there another way to rename the line AB?
Is
BC, we could say
AC?
AC, you could say BA, any of those work, okay? So BC, and you have to put the little line above it. Okay, number 7, find the length indicated. So if my giant one is 15 and one of my smaller ones is 10, what does the other small one have to be? 5, okay? So for all these, essentially, it's the little plus the little equals the big, okay? That's essentially what's happening, okay? The 2 little ones add together to equal the big one. Okay, so if we look at number 9, you're gonna add the 2 little ones together. Okay, so it's gonna look like 11 plus negative 10 plus 2x equals my big, which is x plus 8. Okay, our very first step is gonna be to combine. What can we combine?
11 plus negative
11 and the negative 10. What is 11 plus negative 10?
10.
1. So you're gonna get 1 plus 2x equals 1x plus 8. Okay, we need to move our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. So who's gonna get moved?
1x.
The 1x needs moved, I agree. And where's he gonna go under? Under the 2. Who else is getting moved? The 1's gonna get moved and he's gonna go under the 8. Okay, 2 minus 1 is 1x. 8 minus 1 is 7. Okay, and our last step is always to do what?
Divide.
Divide. Okay, the good news is, a lot of these are all somewhat similar, okay? Obviously, we started off with a segment that was really easy. Okay, look at this one. What do the instructions tell you to do? Solve for x. Did we do that? Yeah, so this one is done, okay? And so they kind of work their way as far as level of hardness. When we did that very first one, 10 plus 5 gives us 15, right? That's really easy. This is, I guess, I wouldn't even call it, but a medium. And then obviously this next one is the hard one, and it's where you just need to plug the x back in, okay? So if we look at number 11, we're gonna say the little plus the little equals the big. What is my first little?
7.
7. So we're gonna say 7 plus, what's my other little one?
X
X minus 5 equals, what's my big one?
2x minus 6.
2x minus 6. How many pieces are on the left?
1.
Count, how many things are on the left side?
3.
3. We are only allowed 1 or 2 or none, okay? But you can't have 3. If you have 3, then you know something has to get combined, okay? So who can get combined on the left side?
7 and negative 5.
The 7 and the negative 5. Okay, so what is 7 and a negative 5? 2. So we get 2 plus x equals 2x minus 6. And I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 in front of that x just because I like to. Okay, we need to move our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. So 2, is that a letter or a number? It's a number. Where is it right now? It's on the left. Where should it be? On the right. So that means he needs moved. So we're going to say minus 2. What's that going to go under? Is that going to go under 2x or the 6? Under the 6. So we're going to say minus 2. Okay, and just start running down the list. 1x, is that a letter or a number?
Number,
1x.
letter.
It's a letter. Where is it right now? On the left. Is that where it belongs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to stay. We're going to leave it alone. 2x, is that a letter or a number?
Letter.
It's a letter. Where is it right now? On the right. Where should it be? On the left. Okay, so that means he needs moved. Okay, and so if you go through and ask yourself on each thing up there, okay, it makes it not that bad. Okay, 1 minus 2 is going to be negative 1x. Negative 6 minus 2 is going to be negative 8. Okay, and then what? Divide by negative 1. Okay, and so I'm going to get x equals 8. What did the instructions tell us to do?
Find EC.
Find EC. Is EC going to be my little one on the left and my big one on the right? I'm sorry, I said that all checked up. My little on the left, my little on the right, or the big one at the bottom? EC.
Big one on the bottom.
The big one on the bottom. Okay, so EC, and what is that? EC is going to be 2x minus 6. So wherever there's an x, we now know x is what? 8. So 2 parentheses 8 minus 6. And when you type that in the calculator, what do you get?
10.
10? Somebody agree?
Here.
Okay, 13 through 18 are all gonna get set up the same. So points A, B, and C are collinear. Point B is between A, C. So essentially you're drawing the picture, okay? So we got A, B, C, right? And you've got a little and a little and a big. Okay, so BC is 4. Is that a little on the left, little on the right, or the bottom? BC is 4.
Wait, do you mean?
Little on the right. Okay, and I should have drawn mine down there, but I am gonna. Okay, so BC, that's gonna be 4, goes there. AC is 13. Is that little left or big on the bottom?
Big on the bottom.
Big on the bottom is 13. Okay, find AB. So, if I know my big is 13 and one of my littles is 4, how do I find the other one? Subtract. What is 13 minus 4? 9. So that means that this one has to be 9. Okay, and if not, it still works the same. The little plus the little equals the big. These are the exact same as what we just did. There's just no picture. So you just need to draw the picture first. Okay, that's the only difference. Okay, so we can start this one off and we can draw our little picture and start to fill it in. Okay, so I got A, B, C. Okay, AC is x plus 19. Is that going to be little left, little right, or big on the bottom? AC. Big on the bottom. So we're going to say x plus 19. Okay, that goes for the bottom. BC is 4. Where does that belong? BC is 4. Little where? Well, left or right?
Right.
To the right, yep. So it goes here. Okay, and then AB is going to be 2x plus 23. So that's going to go here. 2x plus 23. Okay, and now you're going to do it just like we did the other ones. You're going to take the two little ones and add them together and set it equal to the big one. Okay, so it's going to look like 2x plus 23 plus 4 equals x plus 19. Okay, how many pieces are on the left?
3.
There's 3, so that means something needs to get combined. So who gets combined?
23 and 4.
23 and 4. What is 23 plus 4? 27. Okay. Okay, so everything else is going to stay the same. Okay, 2x. Is that a letter or a number? It's a letter. Where is he right now? He's on the left, and that's where he belongs, so we're going to leave him alone. 27, is that a letter or a number?
Number.
It's a number, where do numbers go?
Right.
To the right, so he needs to move, so we're gonna say minus 27. And what am I gonna put that under, the 1 or the 19?
19.
Under the 19, good. Okay, so these ones are gonna get crossed out. 1x, is that a letter or a number?
No.
It's a letter, where is it right now?
Right.
It's on the right, where should he be?
Left.
On the left, so that means we need to move him. Okay, and if you remember, every time you should have two big X's on both sides of your equal sign for everything to cancel out, everything looks kosher, okay? 2x minus 1x.
1.
1x. 19 minus 27. 19 minus 27.
Eight.
Try again.
Maybe.
It could be. Okay, and our last step is always to do what?
Right.
Divide. We're gonna divide by 1. Okay, what did the instructions tell us to do? Go back through and read the problem. Find x. So these ones are set up the exact same. The first one is easy, the second one is medium, the third one is not hard, but you gotta plug it back in. It has that extra step. Okay? Just for time purposes, we're gonna cross off number 17 and 18. Okay, but kind of leave a little room above it, a little bit somewhere, but.
Number 17 and 18.
Mm-hmm. I should have wrote this formula down. Okay, so this is the distance formula. Find the distance in between the 2 points. Okay, it's got, it's really big. Okay, it's gonna be, don't write in pen, because I need to check it, but I'm pretty sure this is right. And I just said don't write in pen.
I know, but I think it's right.
Do you think it's right, Steve? Look at me go. It's sad that my brain uses its space to memorize this formula. Okay, so make sure, remember where I said you can use these on your test? Make sure that you have the formula written on your sheet, because hopefully, I would say love if you do remember it, but don't use your brain space to remember that. Okay, so write the formula on your sheet, that way you have it. So we're gonna go through and we start to label these. How do I label the coordinates?
X1, Y,
X1, Y1, what about the second one?
X2, Y2.
X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, and then from here, it's just a matter of plugging it in. Okay, so we're gonna say square root. Okay, and we start following the formula. What is my X2 value? 2. So we got 2 minus, what is my X1? 6. Close and squared. And then we're gonna say plus, parenthesis, what is my Y2 value?
-2.
-2 minus my Y1 value. -7, okay? And this one has a lot of negatives going on, so make sure you be careful when you're typing them in. Okay? And then after that, you can do it all on the calculator, okay? Easy peasy on the calculator. Okay, you would hit your square root button and type in all that. Okay, and what are you gonna get? Huh? 41? Somebody agree?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right. You got 21?
Don't you do like the
Maybe
S-
radical
You
41.
do the S and then the D though.
Yeah, so we will, okay, so radical 41 it could be. Hanson, did you plug it in?
I got that, yeah, that's fine with the 20.
You got a radical 21?
Yes, I got a radical 41.
You got radical 41? Okay, so radical 41, and what does that equate to? Remember, you need to hit what button? 6.4, you need to hit what button though? The SD. Okay, so we need to find the SD button on our calculator, and that'll turn it from the radical to a decimal, right? Because we talked about, that's the distance between me and Hanson's house. Well, I can't say, oh yeah, Hanson lives radical 41 miles from me, right? That's not helpful, okay? Especially if I'm running out of gas. So we need a rough decimal, okay? So this is our answer. Okay, number 23, it says find the midpoint. Does anybody remember what's the midpoint formula?
Wait, what about number 21?
Did I skip one?
You got number 21.
Is my thing, oh, there it goes. I don't know, my computer's like lagging. Oh, so 21 is the same with the distance, but we need to find a coordinate first. So we start at 0, 0. So we go left and right first and then up or down. So how many am I gonna have to go left or right?
Right.
Right 3, and then what?
Down 3.
Down 3. So right 3, down 3. When do I know I need a negative? If you go
Down or left?
down or left needs a negative, okay? And if you don't remember that, please write that as a little note on your paper so you remember, okay? If you go down or left, you have to have a negative, okay? So which one of these is going to be negative?
Right.
The second one, okay? Because this one went to the right, this one went down, so that's going to be that one, okay? And then to get to this point, am I going left or right?
Right
Right 4. And am I going up or down?
Down 5.
Down 5, so it's going to be negative 5. Okay, and then from here, you're doing the exact same thing we just did. We're going to go ahead and label. Okay, which one is going to get labeled the X1, Y1?
3 and negative 3.
Okay, it does not matter. Okay, so if some of you guys label the green one, the X1, Y1, and some of you guys do the blue one, it doesn't matter. But we can't do like an X1 and then a Y2. Okay, the ones have to go together and then the twos have to go together. Okay, so, because it'll all work out. So I'm going to say X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, so it's going to look like X2 is going to be 4 minus my X1 is 3 squared plus Y2 is negative 5 minus Y1 is negative 3 squared. Okay, we can type that in your calculator and see what you get.
Radical 5 and it goes to 2.6.
Okay, hold on. So radical 5, somebody agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So radical 5, and what is that approximately?
2.2.
2.2? We're getting there. The last, like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to go really fast. We got a couple more. Okay, find the midpoint of the line segment. What is the midpoint formula? Does anybody remember? Okay, the midpoint formula goes like this. X1 plus X2 over 2 for the X's, and then you do the exact same thing for the Y's. Y1 plus Y2 over 2. Okay, so again, make sure you have that formula written on your paper. If you didn't memorize it, that's fine. But that way you have it for notes, okay? Yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay, so we can go ahead and label. We're going to say X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Okay, and you do have to do them totally separately. This one I'm going to write out. Normally I would just say do it on the calculator. Okay, my X1 is going to be 2 plus negative 9 over 2. My Y's are going to be negative 4 plus negative 7 over 2. Okay, so on your calculator, the very first button that you would push would be your fraction button, and you have to just do the x's, get your answer, write it down, and then go back through and do the y's, get your answer, and then write it down. Okay, there's no way to like do it all in one step. Okay, so when you do the x's, what do you get? Negative 7 over 2, okay? Yeah, so the negative, it doesn't matter if you put the negative with the 7, with the 2, or out front, but you can only have one. And then what about the y's? Negative 4 plus negative 7 over 2. What is that going to give you?
Negative 11 over 2.
Negative 11 over 2. Okay, and so this is our midpoint.
Can you scroll back up to the thing?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I did.
Okay, number 25 is the exact same. You just need to find the coordinates first. Okay, so how much do you go left or right first, and then either up or down? Okay, so 25, if I'm trying to get to this first dot, how much am I going to go left or right?
First down,
Mm-hmm.
right
Well,
that down,
Yeah.
left 5.
Left 5, so that's going to be a negative 5. Remember, if we go left or down. Okay, then am I going to go up or down? Up 1. Okay, if I'm trying to get to this dot,
Over,
no, you can't say over.
right 4.
Right 4, and then up or down?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, so what is that? 0. Okay, and then you're going to do the exact same thing you just did. You're going to go ahead and label them and say x1 plus x2 over 2. Okay, so I can go ahead and label these x1, y1, x2, y2. And again, it doesn't matter if I labeled my green ones, I say green because mine's green. My green ones with the 1s and that one's with the 2s, that's totally fine. Okay, because it's gonna work out the same. So it's gonna look like negative 5 plus 4 over 2 for the x's, and for the y's, 1 plus 0 over 2. Okay, and what is that gonna give you?
Negative 1 over 2.
Negative 1 over 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
And the other one is 1 over 2.
1 over 2. Okay, if you were to look back at the graph, the middle of that line, first of all, my coordinates should fall on there and it should look like the middle. Okay, so 1/2 and 1/2. Okay, it should be somewhere on here, and it is. If we go negative 1/2 and then up 1/2, okay, it's right there. And so that kind of works out.
You get a whole number.
Huh? You can't get a whole number yet. Can I scroll? The last mathy one, okay? Okay, here's the formula for this one. It's gonna look like x1 plus x2 over 2 equals my x3. Okay, this is gonna be the midpoint. These are endpoints. Okay, so my endpoint, I'm gonna label, and it's the exact same thing for the y's. If you wanna write the y formula, you totally can. But essentially, you're gonna take this and, not erase, but put y instead, okay? So, I can label my endpoint x1, y1. I'm gonna label the midpoint what?
X3,
x3,
Y3.
y3. Okay, and so we're gonna go ahead and set this up. What is my x1 value? 0 plus x2. What is my x2 value? We don't know it. So this is the one where, remember, we say x2 equals, or over 2 equals, what is my x3 value? -9. Okay, all of these have 2 steps. What are the 2 steps? Do you remember? Okay, you're always going to multiply and then either add or subtract. Okay, so our very first step is going to be multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. So we got 0 plus x2 equals -9 times 2 is going to be -18. Okay, so we multiply by 2 and then add or subtract. Are we going to add or subtract 0? Yeah, so 0 doesn't really matter. Okay, so people ask me that all the time. I'm going to do it just so you guys, when you're looking back, you can do the steps. But okay, so if we say -0 minus 0, I'm going to get x2 equals -18. Okay, and you're going to do this exact same thing still on this problem for the y's. Okay, but the steps are going to be the same. You times by 2, then add or subtract. Okay, so for the y's, we're going to say -5 plus y2 over 2 equals my y3. What is my y3? -8. Okay, again, the steps are always the same. You're going to times by 2, then add or subtract. Okay, and you can even write that on your sheet if you want to, okay? So you're going to times by 2. We get -5 plus y2 equals -16. And then are you going to add or subtract?
Add
Add what?
-5.
Yeah, we're going to add 5 on both sides. Okay, so we're going to get y2 equals, what is -16 plus 5? -11. Okay, and this one is not totally done. Why not? What do we have to do very last?
Add them together.
We got to put them together. How? Remember, so we just did like this. -18, comma, -11. We got 7 left. We're almost done. They're pretty fast. 7. Okay, 29. State if the given point is interior, exterior, or on the angle. Okay, 29. Is that interior, exterior, or on the angle? It's exterior. Okay, if it's on the outside, it's going to be exterior. Okay, so we can just put an E. Okay, it's exterior. Okay, 31. Name the vertex in sides of each angle. Which one is the vertex? The middle one, which is D. Okay, so the vertex is D. And then what about the sides? What'd you say? So the sides, we start from the vertex. DC is one. And remember, we need like this above it. What's the other one? DE. And that one we need above it, okay? Okay, 33, name each angle in 4 ways. Okay, so when we're naming angles, we need to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have 4 of them little like Pac-Man mouse. Okay, what is one way? 3, I agree with that. What's another way? J. Okay. K, J, I. I, J, K. Okay, so make sure that your J or your vertex is in the middle, okay? So you can go, essentially what's happening, we can go this way or we can go this way, okay? And that's how we name those. Okay, 35, name all the angles that have the same vertex as V. Okay, what is 1? 1 works. What's another one? 2. What else?
GVH,
GVH, I agree, GVH. HVI, I agree. And there's one more, GVI, so the big one. GVI. Okay, name the relationship complementary. What does complementary look like?
Give it back, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
What does complementary look like? Or any of these, let's start. It looks like a right angle, okay? So complementary looks like this, okay? So, and it can be split, it's gonna have AB, okay? It adds up to 90 degrees. Okay, and a lot of times you're gonna see it's gonna have a right angle here or a right angle here. Okay, what about a linear pair? Linear pair. Does anybody remember? Okay, a linear pair is gonna be, it's gonna work out to be a straight line. Okay, and so you can have like AB, and it adds up to be 180 degrees. Okay, vertical angles are gonna be across from each other. So AB, they're across. And then lastly, adjacent are next to each other. Okay, so it can look like this, AB. Okay, and so those you'll need for all of the rest essentially, okay? So if we look at 37, name the relationship. Is it complementary, linear pair, vertical, or adjacent? So you have to start out and you're gonna pick one of these two, okay? Well, no, scratch that. You start out and pick one of these two, okay? So are they across from each other or right next to each other?
Next to each other.
They're adjacent, okay? So they're gonna be adjacent for sure. Okay, and then we can ask ourselves, because it can be adjacent and nothing else, but if it is one of these, then it is gonna be adjacent, okay? So is it complementary, linear pair, or neither? It's complementary. We see this, it's got this square, so this is also gonna be a comp. Okay, 39, is that complementary or a linear pair? It's complementary, so that is what amount of degrees? 90, so you're gonna say 90 minus what?
57.
67, okay, and what is that? Huh? 13?
No,
It's 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, what? Okay, and then last one, 41, is that, a linear pair or complementary? It's linear, okay, and so it would make a square, it would be smaller, okay, and so what we need to do, we know that then if it's linear, you're gonna say, that two angles, so that's first one, plus the second one, and what should it equal? 180. Okay, so I know that 42 is gonna equal 90, okay? And so we're gonna go ahead and combine, so what is, it's 116 plus 6? 116 plus 6. 122? Okay. And then what needs done? We're gonna subtract 122 from both sides. And what is that?
58.
58. Okay, what did it tell us to find?
The value of
the value of x, so we can stop here.